Hello friends, welcome to the 33rd lecture of this course. So this lecture is again in the continuation of the previous lecture. So in the previous lecture we have learned about divergence and curl. In the last lecture we have taken an example like a function phi is given to you which is a scalar function, and then we need to find out curl of grade phi and divergence of grade phi. So we have taken an example, a particular example. Now let us see in general what these things are. So curl of grade phi. So basically curl of grade phi is given as del cross del phi. So this will be del cross del phi over del xi plus del phi over del yj plus del phi over del z k. So this will become I j k del by del x del by del y del by del z and then del phi over del x. J component is del phi over del y del phi over del z. Now if I compute this thing, the I component will become del 2 phi over del y del z minus del 2 phi over del y del z. So 0. J component will become again 0 and k component will be 0. So it comes out to be 0. So hence in the previous lecture I have directly written it 0. So what I want to say, that curl of gradient of a scalar function will be always 0. So if curl of grade phi equals to 0, then can we relate it with some other concept? Yes, we can relate. And what is that concept? That particular concept is about potential function or conservative vector field. So a vector field is conservative if, or let us say vector field V, curl of V equals to 0. Why I am writing it? Because if V is conservative, then I can write V as the gradient of a potential function. So that is basically gradient of phi, and curl of gradient of phi we have just shown that it is always 0. So this is another way of testing whether a given vector function is conservative or not. Instead of finding the potential function phi, what you can do? You can just calculate the curl of that vector field, and if it is 0, then the vector function is conservative. Another thing which we have calculated in the previous lecture was the divergence of grade of phi, and this I have calculated for a particular example in the previous class. Now let us see what is this. This is basically del operator dot product with del phi. So this become del by del x in the direction of I, del by del y in the direction of j, del by del z in the direction of k, and dot product with del phi over del x in the direction of pi plus del phi over del z, sorry, del y in the direction of j plus del phi over del z in the direction of k. So, this basically in the second down bracket we are having del phi, that is gradient of phi. Now, if I do the dot product of these two vectors, it will become del y del x over del phi over del x plus del over del y del phi over del y plus del by del z del phi over del z, and this comes out to be del square phi over del x square plus del square phi over del y square plus del square phi over del z square, and this I can basically denote with this notation. This particular operator is called Laplacian operator. So, basically Laplacian operator is del square over del x square plus del square over del y square plus del square over del z square, and denoted by this. Now, the equation del square phi equals to 0 is called Laplace equation. Okay, and it is a famous partial differential equation. Can you tell me a function which is satisfy this equation? So, here we can easily construct such a function. For example, if I take phi equals to x square plus y square minus twice of z square, then del 2 phi over del x square plus del 2 phi over del y square plus del 2 phi over del z square, which is basically Laplacian operator operating on phi. So, this term is 2 plus second order partial derivative of this phi with respect to y is 2 minus 4, and this comes out to be 0. Hence, this particular scalar function phi satisfy the Laplace equation. After this, we will take few more identities on divergence and curl. So, with these two previous properties, the next identity is, let me write as I1. So, it is saying if, let me write A and B. So, if A and B are two vector functions then or let me write like divergence of A plus B equals to divergence of A plus divergence of B. Let us see the proof of it. So, divergence of A plus B will become del operator dot product with the sum of these two vector functions. So, we need to prove that divergence of vector A plus B equals to del dot A plus B. Now, if vector A is having component like A1i plus A2j plus A3k, and vector B is having component as B1i plus B2j plus B3k. Then as you know that the sum of these two vectors will be having A1 plus B1 as the I component plus A2 plus B2 as the j component plus A3 plus B3 as the k component. So now divergence of A plus B will become del by del x of I component plus of y component mean j component and del by del z of k component. So this, since the partial derivative operator is a linear operator, so I can write del A1 over del x plus del A2 over del y plus del A3 over del z plus del B1 over del x del B2 over del y plus del B3 over del z, and this is nothing just dot product of del operator with vector function A plus this second square bracket is round bracket is the dot product of the second round bracket is dot product of del operator with vector B, vector function B, and this is divergence A plus divergence B. This is what we need to prove. The next identity which are going to prove is show that divergence of vector A cross vector B, the cross product of A and B equals to curl A dot B minus curl B dot A. So here divergence of A cross B written as in this short form, and what is this short form? This short form is saying that the I component of this divergence can be written in this way. So if I take the dot product with I component, I will get del by del x of A cross B, and since this is here, so similarly we can extend it the components of j and component of k, means it will become plus j dot del over del y of A cross B plus k dot product with del by del z over A cross B. So in this way. So this is the short notation. Now del by del x of A cross B, if I am having d by dt of u cross v, I can write it du over dt cross v plus u cross dv over dt. So applying this property here, I will get this term del by del x of A cross B as del A over del x cross B plus A cross del B over del x. Now I can write it in the term in the sum of two different terms. So first term will become I cap dot del A over del x cross B, so up to here, plus I cap A cross del B over del x. Now we are having this particular property of vectors that A dot B cross C can be written as A cross B dot C. So in this way, this particular term I can write as I cross del A over del x dot B, and this I have taken the minus because I am taking inside I cross del B over del x. So I am changing the order of this A cross del B over del x. So I have written I cross del B over del x dot product with A. Now what is this? This is curl of A dot B minus curl of B dot A, and this way we have done the proof of this particular identity. The next identity, again a bit tricky proof, and it is saying that so that curl of A cross B, like in the earlier one we are having divergence here, now we are taking curl here, equals to B dot del A minus B divergence A divergence B minus A dot del B. Please note that these two square round bracket term B dot del and A dot del, these are basically operators. And how I can define these operators? So, if my B is, let us say, B1I plus B2J plus B3K, del operator is defined as del by del x, del by del y, del by del z k. So, now B dot del is an operator and it is something B1 del by del x. Please do not write it del B1 over del x, no, plus B2 del over del y plus B3 del by del z. For example, if want my some scalar function is phi, so let us say phi is x y z, then B dot del phi will become B1 del by del x plus B2 del by del y plus B3 del by del z phi. Okay. So, it will become B1 del phi over del x. So, now this B1 del by del x operating on phi. So, it will become B1 yz plus B2 xz plus B3 xy. So, it will be a scalar quantity, this operator operating on a scalar function. As I told you, do not write it del B1 over del x. If you write it del B1 over del x, then del B1 over del x into phi plus del B1 B2 over del x into phi plus del B3 over del x into phi. These two things are quite different. Here you are operating partial derivatives on phi. Here you have made a mistake because you have done the partial differentiation of B1, B2 and B3. So, this is wrong. So, basically you cannot write it del B1 over del x plus del B1 over del y, del B3 over del z. Please be careful about this operator. So, now I need to prove that curl of A cross B, B dot del operator operating on A minus B divergence A plus A divergence B minus the operator A dot del operating on B. Now, if I take curl of A cross B in short notation, I can write it sum I cross del by del x of A cross B. Now, again using the same property which we have used in the earlier example, that d by dt of u cross v equals to du over dt cross v plus u cross dv over dt. This can be written as I cross del A over del x cross b plus A cross del b over del x. Now, again like in the earlier identity, I will break it in two terms. One is I cross del A over del x cross b plus I cross A cross del b over del x. And now, I will use the property of vectors which is saying me that A cross B cross C equals to A dot C into B minus A dot B into C, because here in the identity which I am doing, I am having this kind of two terms. So, using this property, so using the property just I mentioned, I can write these two terms in this way, and finally b dot I del a over del x, I can write b dot I del by del x at a, because b dot I will be the component of b in the direction of I. So, this I dot del a over del x into b I can write, because it is nothing just divergence of a. So, I can write b times divergence of a. This I dot del b over del x is a times divergence of b, and finally this a dot I del b over del x, I can take del by del x inside the bracket and b I can take out. So, this is b dot del operating on a minus b divergence a plus a divergence b minus a dot del operating on b, and this is what we need to prove. My next identity is, so that gradient of a dot b equals to b dot del plus a dot del b plus b cross curl a plus a cross curl b. So, sorry, a is missing here. So, it is b dot del operating on a. So, gradient of a dot b, in the short I can write it I del by del x operating on a dot b. So, it will be summation I del a by del x dot b plus a dot del b by del x. Now, using the fact that a cross b cross c can be written in this way, we get, sorry, this bracket should be here, a cross b cross c. So, I can write it in this way, a dot del b over del x I can be written in this way, that is this term can be written as this minus this one. So, this term I am taking this side and this term I have taken in the right hand side. So, a dot del b over del x I can be written as a dot I del b over del x minus a cross del b over del x cross I. So, this way I can write this a dot I del b over del x minus a cross I cross del b over del x equals to a dot I del by del x. So, del by del x I have taken inside like we have done in the earlier identity, plus a cross I cross del b over del x, and this I can write as a dot del operating on b plus a cross del cross b. So, this I am getting from this term, which is this one. The second term similarly I will get from the first term, which is given as b dot del a over del x I can write in this way. Hence, adding these two I will get the required identity. So, in this particular lecture we have seen some identities on divergence and curl, and we have seen about the Laplacian operator, and which is nothing just divergence of gradient of a scalar function. We have also seen that a conservative vector field will be having curl 0. So, with this I will end this lecture, and we will learn a new concept, that is a new type of integral, that is called line integral, in the next lecture. Thank you very much.